Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 5 of our information text unit. Today we're going to be carrying on writing effective sentences for our information text. We're going to start off by using subordinating clauses. We're going to use some hyphenated words and some relative clauses in our writing today. So let's make a start. So first of all, you're going to need an inspiration page. It's the same as yesterday's, split into 6 boxes. So pause the video now and create your inspiration page. Okay everyone, now that you've done that, I'm going to look at the writing that I'd looked at yesterday with my How to Train a Dragon, So I've got this about a dragon's diet. So it says diet. Most dragons are omnivores, which means they need a well-balanced diet of meat and plant-based foods. Typically, they need 1 meal a day unless a vet advises otherwise. So you can see there I've got a subordinating clause with the conjunction unless. Their teeth are bone-crushing, hyphenated word, super weapons that are designed for both plant chewing, hyphenated word, and flesh tearing, hyphenated word. Larger dragons, which typically have larger wings to support their weight, require more protein in their diet, so will need more meat. So you'll see there I've got a relative clause giving more facts, extra information about bigger dragons. So what I've done is I've taken this and I've changed it to fit in with our subject, which is flying bison. So I've put, most flying bison are herbivores, which means they need a diet rich in vegetation. That means plants. Typically, they need 5 flora-rich, that means plant-rich, meals a day, although larger flying bison may need more. So look, I've got that subordinating conjunction, although. Their teeth are flat, greenery chewing blocks. So there, I've got greenery, which means plants, chewing, hyphenated words, that are boulder-like, a hyphenated simile, and plant masticating. So plant masticating means chewing up. So again, I've made just a hyphenated word. So instead of doing larger flying bison like I did with larger dragons, I've chosen to write about infant flying bison. Infant flying bison, which are around the size of a large seal, require much smaller meals compared to an adult flying bison. So there you can see I've given you extra information in a relative clause about infant flying bison. There's a fly in my bedroom. Go away. So we're going to start off with one. The first thing I want us to do is think of some synonyms for plant. Now I've already given you some. Can you remember them? I said vegetation. I said flora. Can you think of any others? Let's have a look at some synonyms for plant. Herb, flower, vegetable, shrub, weed, greenery, flora, vegetation, undergrowth, herbage, verdure. Pause the video and write down some of the synonyms for that noun, plant. We're going to use these right through the writing to make some hyphenated words later as well. Okay, let's have a look at the ideas I got. So I've got plants, vegetation, herbage, shrubbery, undergrowth, flora. Pausing the video, I would like you to write down some words for plant. Okay, let's go on to the second bit of one. So, what subordinating clauses can we think of to go alongside the following sentence? Now remember, subordination, I use the acronym I saw a wabub to help me. So I've got if, since, as, when, although, while, after, before, until, because. Typically, they need 5 plant-rich meals a day. Because, why would they need 5 plant-rich meals a day? Maybe because they're so large, they need lots of food. Because they are so large. Typically, they need 5 plant-rich meals a day after they've been on a long journey. They might need more food after the flu. Typically, they need 5 plant-rich meals a day while they are resting. Maybe they eat at the same time they're resting. What subordinating phrases can you have to describe them eating, to add extra information? Pause the video and add in some subordinating clauses. Okay, now we've done that, let's have a look at the ideas I've said, although large flying bison may need more, so bigger flying bison might need more than 5 meals. After they have had a long flight, so they would need more food after they've eaten. Before they do exercise, they might need to eat before they do some exercise or a flight. Because they are such large creatures, they might need 5 meals because they're so large. Pause the video, Magpie, any ideas you haven't already got so far. Okay, let's go on to 2. So, a hyphenated adjective is formed in the following way. We put together a noun and a verb. So, I've given you some examples here. Man eating. A man is a noun, eating is a verb. Mountain climbing. Mountain's a noun, climbing's a verb. Picture painting. Picture is a noun, painting is a verb. Now, we've already got lots of nouns for plant already from chunk 1. So we're going to find some synonyms for the verb chew. What synonyms can you think of for the word chew? Chomp, guzzle, grind, masticate. See if there's any others. Munch, crunch, nibble, gnaw, eat, consume, devour, manjicate, chumble. Write some of those down in chunk 2 for me. Pause the video to do that. Okay, now we've done that, let's carry on. See my examples. So I've got masticating, munching, chomping, biting, nibbling, consuming. Look how I've put ing at the end of them all. Pause the video, add ing to any that you haven't already added ing to, and Magpie some of mine if you haven't already got them. Once we've done that, let's go on to the next bit. So I want us to think about what we could compare the flying bison tooth to, and we're going to create a hyphenated simile. Something hyphen like. So I've got a picture of some flying bison teeth here. I can see the big, I can see the flat and hard and white, and they grind things. So I've got some pictures here. I've got a picture of a boulder, an iceberg. I've got a box because they're quite square looking, bone because of the colour of them. I've got some metal, maybe because they're so strong. And here, I've got a picture of what we call a pestle and mortar. And what we do is we use a pestle and mortar, the pestle, to grind up things like spices and herbs. So maybe the teeth are like pestles because they grind food up. So I want you to write down some similes using the word like. So boulder-like, iceberg-like, pestle-like, box-like, bone-like, metal-like, steel-like. Maybe you can think of some others. Pause the video. Let's have a look at some of my ideas. Boulder-like, rock-like, pestle-like, bone-like, iceberg-like, metal-like. Pause the video and Magpie some of mine if you don't have them already. Make sure you've got hyphen like at the end of each of them. Okay, let's go on to chunk 3. So What additional facts could you give about infant flying bison? So remember, it's fiction, we can make it up. So have a look at the pictures. Think about what would you say about flying bison. It might be about how big they are. Remember, I said they were like a big seal. It might be about how many of them there are. Maybe they travel in packs. How long do they stay with the mother? Some animals leave the mother right away. Some of them stay with them for months or years. Some of them stay with them for the rest of their life. Maybe they look slightly different. Maybe their fur could be a different colour. Maybe they eat special food like milk. So, right, once you've written down some of those facts, let's have a look at what I've got. I've said they're around the size of a large seal. I've said they travel in packs. I've said they stay close to their mother. I've said they can fly soon after birth. So pause the video and magpie some of the facts I've written down as well, please. Okay, now we are going to have a look at the next bit. So, how do you think an infant's meal would differ to an adult's? So we know that an adult, or we've said that an adult eats 5 flora-rich meals a day, 5 plant-based meals a day. Maybe an infant has only 3 or 2. Maybe they have milk instead. Think about a baby, a human baby. It eats lots of tiny meals through the day. Maybe they need different things like nuts and berries instead of just grass. Maybe they need the protein. Write down some ideas, pause the video. Okay, let's have a look at my ideas. So I've said much smaller meals, milk instead of vegetation, more protein in their diet from nuts and fruit. Pause the video and magpie some ideas if you want. Okay, now we've done that, let's have a look at the writing. So, diet. Most flying bison are herbivores, which means they need a diet rich in flora, a diet rich in herbage, a diet rich in vegetation. Typically, they need 5 herb-rich meals a day, plant-rich meals a day, veg-rich meals a day. Although larger flying bison may need more. Or I could say after they've been on a long flight, or before they prepare to fly, or because they are such large animals. Their teeth are flat, and look how here I've used a red word, another synonym for plant from my chunk 1. So their teeth are flat, plant guzzling blocks that are iceberg-like and flower chomping. Infant bison, which are, and we're going to put in some extra information about an infant bison, which are known for travelling in packs or which are used to staying close to their mother, require milk instead of vegetation, or require lots of smaller meals throughout the day, or require only 3 meals a day. So just like in yesterday's lesson, you're going to pause the video and do these 3 paragraphs. When you have completed them, I want you to send me a photo of your complete 3 paragraphs, and I will see you next week to continue with this text. Adios.